in Dubai in the desert and you're looking up at the starry sky, you are not going to be thinking about that sofa that you sold. Hey sailors, welcome back to Cruising as Crew. My name is Lucy and today we're going to be talking about whether you should up sticks and start your new life on cruise ships, whether you should sell your house, sell your car, say goodbye to your friends. Is it the right time? Should you do it? That's what we're going to be talking about. But before we start, please press like and subscribe for more cruise ship content. And also, if you have any video suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below or DM me over on Instagram at Cruising as Crew and I'll be sure to get back to you. And I really appreciate every video suggestion that you guys give me because yeah, I want to produce videos that you want to watch. So let me know what you want to see. But as for now, let's get into this topic. If this COVID pandemic has taught us anything, it's how precious life is. And I think it's really made people take a hard look at their life. And some people are like, I am not enjoying my life at all. And it's made people want to do a 180, whether that's cutting out toxic people, moving countries, moving house, or getting a new job. Life is way too short to hate your job. You're ready for a new adventure and it's cruise ships in particular, but you have a house, you have a car, you have a lot of stuff. It's not just as simple as getting on a ship and starting your new job. You have to kind of get your ducks in a row at home before you can even think about this new adventure. So we're going to go through all the steps and hopefully you're going to go from feeling stuck to feeling like, yeah, I can totally do this and get on board a cruise ship. Because if you have a house, a car, etc., it doesn't mean you're stuck. It just means it's going to take a little bit more time, a little bit of pre-planning to actually get on a ship. But cruise ships takes a while to get on anyway. It's not the kind of job that you can just wake up and decide, okay, I want to work on cruise ships. As I've said in previous videos, it can sometimes take like 6 months to get on a cruise ship. So whether you have a house or not, it's not something that you can rush into. The first thing you have to do is get the job. There are people who are like, right, I'm going to sell my house. And I've heard this, people are like, I'm going to sell my house and then I'm going to apply for a job. And I'm like, no. You have to apply for the job. Then you have to wait for your interview. Then after having the interview and finding out you've got the job, you then have to wait for possible training that you might need. Then you have to apply for visas, medicals, loads of other documents that take time to come. And then you have to wait for your company to actually allocate you a ship. So get the job before you do anything, because what you don't want to do is sell your house, sell your car, apply for the job and you're still waiting for a ship 6 months later, or you don't get the job. And while I have every faith that if you are watching this video you will get the job, you just have to be prepared for every eventuality. After getting the job, you have to be honest with your recruiter. So let's say you're renting a house and your lease is up in September and you've just found out you've got the job and it's February. So that's 7 months that you've got until your lease is up. So be honest with your recruiter. Obviously your recruiter is going to try and get you on board a cruise ship as soon as possible because that's what they think's best for you. But if you're honest with them and just say, look, it would actually be great if you could try and get me on a ship like August, September time. As long as you give them plenty of warning, they will try and do this for you. And actually that's great because then normally you will know about the ship that you're allocated on like 4 months in advance. So then you can look at the itinerary and then you can pack accordingly. A house or no house, the more warning you can give the company that you're working for, the better. So if you rent a place, I think it's fairly simple. You'll just try and go on the cruise ship when your lease is up, because you don't want to be paying rent for somewhere that you're not living in. However, if you have a mortgage, you own your own house, there's no reason to sell your house. I mean, you're going to go away and you're going to be earning money, so you can just continue paying your mortgage from a ship. There's no reason why you can't do that. Or you can get someone to rent out your house while you're away on the cruise ship to earn some extra income. The only thing I would say about renting your house out while you are on a ship is, my friend actually did this who came on Virgin Voyages. He thought he was going to be on there for 6 months, as we all did. So he rented his house out. Obviously, we all got sent home because COVID broke out 2 months into our contract. And he actually ended up living with these tenants in his house for a while. I think it was okay because he knew the tenants. But the point is, cruise ships are quite unpredictable, especially with COVID and, you know, everything going on. So what I would say, before you go on your cruise ship contract, It's absolutely vital that you have a place to stay. Now, I don't mean like you're paying for a place, but you need to talk to your friend or your parents, or you need to do some research on Airbnb, find a hostel, so you know that if you go on a cruise ship contract and COVID breaks out 2 months in and you have to come home, or you get medically disembarked, or something happens and you have to come home, you need to know where you're going to stay. Are you going to stay with a friend? Are you going to stay with your mom for a few weeks? Are you going to stay in an Airbnb for a few weeks? If staying with your friends or your parents isn't an option, and you are going to have to pay to stay somewhere, you need to have that money in a savings account ready to go. I'm a big believer in having a rainy day fund. Thank God I haven't had to use it as of yet, but you just never know. And once again, on Virgin, and not just Virgin, like every cruise ship around the world, obviously all the crew members were like told that they were going home. There were thousands of crew members who were like, I don't have a home. Like, I don't know where I'm going to stay because I planned to be on this ship for 6, 8, 9 months. I haven't got anything organised. And unfortunately, it takes something like that for everyone to learn that, okay, well in future maybe I need to have something organised. And you do. If you're going to get rid of the accommodation that you're renting at the moment, or you've got a house that you're going to rent out to someone else, you need to know what you're going to do if you have to come home suddenly. So that's all I would say. Plan for the unexpected. Hopefully you will never use that plan, but it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Talking about places to stay, you also need to have a place to stay during your vacation. Let's say you're going to do a 6-month contract, you'll probably have like 6 to 8 weeks off in between. Where are you going to stay for those 6 to 8 weeks? You need to have that sorted out. Now, obviously in normal times, you don't need to stay at home. Like, you can go on holiday for 6 weeks. I know a mate who does that. She comes home from a cruise ship contract and then she spends her vacation in Mexico, even though she's English. But nevertheless, the company will fly you home. So even if you're from the UK and you want to spend your vacation in Mexico, the company will fly you to England and you will have to make your own way to Mexico. And trust me, after your cruise ship contract, you are going to be knackered. You are going to want to sleep. You're going to want to rest. So wherever you choose to stay during your vacation, keep peaceful in mind. Okay, so you've got your housing situation sorted, but what about all the stuff in your house? Because sometimes that can be more complicated than getting rid of the actual house. Well, hopefully you have a friend or a parent or a relative that is happy to keep some stuff in a room, like clothes and bedding and little knickknacks and paperwork and just stuff like that. But when it comes to furniture, what do you do if you've got a giant sofa and a fridge? I mean, you can pay for storage, but I wouldn't. I'm sorry, but I think you just need to sell it. You need to be ruthless, because while you might like that now, your tastes will probably change. Even, I don't care what age you are. When you go on cruise ships, you obviously meet people from all over the world. You go to a lot of different countries and you see so many different styles and ways of decorating. And, you know, before I went on ships, I loved the beige look. All about the beige look. Beige bed, beige wall, beige, 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 beige. Really liked it. And now I'm all about the colour. I love pops of colour everywhere. So my point is, if I'd have had a house before I went on cruise ships, it would have been beige. When I came back from cruise ships, I would have hated it. So just sell it. Because after you go on a few cruise ship contracts, even one cruise ship contract, you're probably going to find that your tastes have changed and you're going to want to sell it anyway. You've got a bit of time before you start your cruise ship contract. Get on the marketplace, get on eBay and get it sold. You don't need it. I've just moved house and it is incredible the stuff that you hold on to. And when you actually think about it, you're like, why am I so emotionally attached to this? I forced myself to be ruthless. I mean, we got rid of so much stuff. We sold it, charity shopped it. There was so much stuff gone. And you know what? I feel great now. I'm living the minimalist life and I'm loving it. And especially if you're going to go on a cruise ship. If you're starting a cruise ship career, that generally means that you're going to be doing it for a few years. Guaranteed you're going to put this stuff in storage and you're literally going to forget that you even have it. So 3 years later when you go to that storage unit and pull it out, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I kept this. And you've just paid all that money to store it. So unless it's something really sentimental, get rid of it. You don't need it. And you can use all the money that you sell this stuff for to do amazing activities in these new countries. The money that you get from that sofa is going to pay for that amazing excursion scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef. It can be your activity fund as your reward for being ruthless. And trust me, when you're in Dubai in the desert and you're looking up at the starry sky, you are not going to be thinking about that sofa that you sold. So your house, you've got rid of your stuff. What about your job? As I've said, it's best to be honest, and I really hope that you have a reasonable boss and you can be honest with them about this new exciting adventure that you're embarking on. But you know what? Not all bosses are cool with it. And if you feel like you can't be honest with your current boss, then it's really important that you are honest with your new boss, your new recruiter, because just need to make sure that your recruiter knows that you need 5 weeks notice, because I'm imagining you need to give a month's notice in at your current job. The reason I say 5 weeks notice and not 4 weeks is because it's really good to have a week not working and before you start your job on cruise ships to just get all your shit together. You need to pack, you need to read your contract, you need to get all your documents together, make sure everything is, good to go. You need to say goodbye to everyone. You might be leaving for 6, 7, 8, 9 months. You're going to want to say goodbye to people, see you later. If you are in a house, you're going to have to hand over the keys and do all of that paperwork. Be completely honest with your recruiter. Just say you absolutely have to have this notice because of your current job. And then when you hand your notice in to your current employer, you don't have to give a reason. And also there's nothing they can say at that point. They can't try and persuade you otherwise because things are already in motion. If you're thinking about going on cruise ships and you bring it up to your employer when things aren't even in motion, it's very easy for them to try and sway you otherwise and tell you that it's not a good idea or whatever to benefit their needs. I'm a big believer in doing things quietly and then kind of announcing it to people when it's a thing, because it just means that no one can sway you otherwise. Starting this YouTube channel, I didn't talk to anyone about doing it, even though I wanted to. It was all I could think about for a time. I didn't talk to anyone about it because I was like, I don't want anyone to sway my opinion on it. And cruise ships is a huge life shift. People are going to have opinions about it. So yeah, if you can, I would just keep it to yourself. But hopefully you have a great boss who isn't going to try and put you off it and, everything's lovely. But just in case, be honest with your recruiter and it'll all be fine. So try and time going on board with your lease ending. Always have a place that you know that you can stay if the shit hits the fan, for lack of a better phrase. In between your vacation, where are you going to stay? Ideally, sell your furniture, sell as much as you can so you have a stonking great activity fund, and be completely honest with your recruiter about your situation, because then you can work together. It has to work for both the company and you. Your recruiter can't make things work for you if she doesn't know your situation. So just be totally honest. I've got a house to get rid of. I've got a car to get rid of. I need some time. And you know what? They'll probably be really grateful because most people apply and they're like, get me on a ship as soon as possible. So for someone to say, you know what, I need like 6, 7 months, I'd be like, fantastic. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have found this video helpful. If you still have questions about this topic, please leave them in the comments down below. I wish you all the luck in the world with flipping your life 180 and getting on cruise ships. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.